Haha.
English. Hi everyone.
Hey, welcome back everyone to day 5 of the Bossbeaby.
Yes, right.
Right.
So, And this is a temporary studio for our new video
Yeah, a lot of new
thing.
exciting changes are. One of it is the camera changed
And mic change
and the mic changed and
the classroom changed.
and I've become a homeless bum.
But anyway, here we got a new one. Who knows better one or the prettier ones?
Well, pretty doesn't really matter. For me, it's just I've become a guy that lives in a cardboard box.
Like you're fired.
Yeah, it's a very tiny little box. Anyways, day 5 now. We're going to look at our new sentence.
Yes, right. So move on.
Okay, so today's sentence is I had an overactive imagination.
저는 뭐 좀 상상력이 과했대요. Yep.
Okay, it's because it's a new room. I lost my...
Yeah, control.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, here. The sentence is very simple. Usually you can use this when you're over-exaggerating about something. Or maybe you really do. So, he could just say, I have an imagination. Okay?
Right, yeah. So
Okay?
usually,
it just means you can imagine things. But he imagines like to the extreme. A lot more wilder, crazier imagination.
beyond just the normal level.
Right.
Like,
Beyond, well, I mean, but then again, most kids are, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's what makes them kids, aren't
But anyway, too far.
Really?
Right? No?
Well, okay, well, maybe, but I mean, kids usually have good imaginations.
Yeah, like the flying in the air or kind of some princess or prince in a big palace.
Well, that's
Or whatever.
possible.
Yeah, but anyway, but more than that.
right. Then we would call it an overactive imagination.
보통은 상상을 하면은 상상력 자체라는 것이 좀 이제 굉장한 것들이긴 하잖아요. 그 정상의 어떤 것들을 훨씬 넘어서는 것들 아이들의. 근데 overactive 하면 그것보다 훨씬 좀 더 과한 아닌 그런 것들, 좀 과장된. 네.
Normally, you could even say, I have an active imagination too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a sentence you could still even work, but you want to say this more strongly, and you're putting the emphasis that it's beyond normal extremes. Then you would say, I have an overactive imagination.
So active imagination is okay.
Yeah, active imagination is just you imaginate a lot. You imagine not
Very
imaginate.
imaginative, right?
Okay, right. You imagine things quite often. That's an active imagination. But if you're
상상을 많이 하고 그냥 자주 하는 거는 그냥 active imagination이겠지만, yes.
but if you
Sorry,
have
but we are
an,
hungry, so yeah.
if you have an overactive imagination, it's just beyond the normal limits.
그러니까 정상적인 범주를 훨씬 넘어서는 게 overactive. 네.
In a way, my dad he used to tell me something else. He used to call me a hyperactive.
아, 네. Hyper means also some kind of more.
Yeah, it's just a lot more extreme. Like when I was younger, I wouldn't stay in one spot, so I'd always be running off somewhere. So he'd be like, "Oh, that hyperactive kid. We gotta cut off on his sugar or whatever." But the fact is, when I was younger, I didn't like.
설탕을 너무 많이 당 중독인가 그래서 가만히 못 있고 돌아다니니까 저 당 좀 그만 먹여야겠다 뭐 이런 얘기 아버지가 하셨다고 hyperactive 하면서.
Okay, but the thing is, I didn't eat a lot of sugar when I was young.
Yeah, after that time, your secret treasure box of candy ones and the ants were coming.
Oh right, you know about that.
Oh yeah, can you tell me about the story one more time for them?
Okay, like when I was younger, I used to have a treasure box.
Yes.
Well,
보물상자가 있었대. 네.
it wasn't actually a box. It was more like a treasure shelf. Cabinet.
Not a closet or the drawer.
It was a drawer, right? Okay, sorry. Yeah, it was a drawer under a lamp in the living room, and I used to, like if you go Halloween trick or treating. I would save some of my candy, like some of the favorite ones, and put it inside a drawer. And I was doing that for a couple years.
Years without eating, just keeping.
Once in a while, I ate a couple.
Okay, so those candies can be 2-year-old candies
Yeah,
or 3-year-old.
yeah.
Wow.
Some of them were.
사탕을 해마다 그 할로윈 같은 데 받아가지고 계속 그 서랍에다 모아놔가지고 어떤 사탕들은 그러니까 먹기는 먹었는데 좀 오래된 사탕들도 있었다고 해요. Wow.
Yeah, so some were probably about 4 or 5 years
Wow.
old.
Isn't it sticky or some melting?
Well, I didn't know.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, later on. Okay. Well,
Okay,
anyway.
yeah.
All right. So. All right. It was all fine. Nobody knew about my special treasure chest.
아무도 몰랐어요.
Treasure drawer.
Yeah.
Until one day, we figured out that there was an outbreak in home. We had an ant infestation. Because at first we didn't know. Like we just see tiny little ants crawling around once in a while. But my dad would just blame me on leaving the.
And to go marching one by one around.
Yeah, well.
One by one around.
Anyways, we just thought outside ants came inside. So like he would just scold me and tell me to close the door from the backyard.
그러니까 문을 제대로 안 닫아서 개미들이 들어온 줄 알고 그냥 야단을 좀 쳤대요. 문 잘 닫으라고.
But eventually we found out that there were too many ants. So my dad started looking for the source.
개미가 너무 많아가지고 이제 어디 근원지가 어딘가 찾기 시작했어요.
Eventually he found the source, which was my treasure drawer.
그 근원지는 바로 데이빗의 보물 서랍.
They were very diligent. They actually built a colony there.
거기다가 아예 그냥 그 뭐라고 하죠? 개미 서식지를 차렸대요. 와우. In the box?
Yeah,
in the
they
drawer?
even moved in sand, like tiny pebbles and stuff.
Really?
There was even a queen inside.
Wow. Then the princess and the eggs are in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, also it was a house, so it's a warm drawer, so it's also a warm source during winter time.
Yeah, and there are other nutrition foods are near the kitchen.
Well, yeah, they were actually building a whole colony around my candy.
Wow, but you didn't open the drawer until that time?
Well, that's the thing. As years went by, I forgot about my treasure.
그러니까 자기의 보물을 그러니까 시간이 흐르면서 잊어버린 거래요. 네, so
I hid it so well, I forgot about it,
So you couldn't find your treasure.
Well, I didn't even look for it. So
찾아볼 생각도 안 했다고.
I didn't even look for it, so I didn't even know.
Yeah, so
until the ants started popping up, and then, oh boy, was Dad furious about that.
Yeah, sure. I can imagine.
So we eventually had to call in the pest control, exterminator.
네, 그 해충 제거하시는 분들까지.
So everyone else was kind of happy because we got to stay at a hotel. Because we were doing fumigation, right?
Yes. 집 소독해야 되니까, 방역해야 되니까.
So the whole house tent thing.
So then maybe thousands were.
Well, we had a whole colony living there, and we don't know where else they would have moved. So what happens is they get like a tent and they fumigate the whole house.
Oh, wow.
So for 1 week we couldn't go home.
So I just want to. How old are you?
I think I was around 8.
8?
So since around 4 years old, 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, I've been collecting candy.
그러니까 4살, 5살 때부터 모은 캔디들이 이렇게.
And hiding it in that drawer.
Yeah, so maybe those ants live there at least for more than a year, right?
Probably. There was even sand in there. How did they move in the sand from outside?
Wow, they are really diligent.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Well,
you didn't have a picture of that, right?
No, I mean, come on. This is like the 80s.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe camera were those analog ones.
I think my dad was too angry to think about things like that.
Or who knows? Those
the exterminator?
They took a picture as a kind of some.
Maybe these days they would, but because it's a very rare case. But
almost, yes. Yes, more than 30 years ago.
Yeah. So no, we didn't. But it was a really
굉장하네요, 정말. 네.
it was kind of cool though.
What? But you know, after the story of the cherry bomb story,
Yeah.
then I can see your dad's viewpoint.
Oh, hyperactive kid?
No, he paid too much for your deeds, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not.
I can't.
I think maybe those two are not the.
They're not even half of it.
There are more wonderful stories are after that, I guess.
Well, yeah, my dad always tells me you're an expensive kid.
Yes, 비싼 아이라고 했대요. 정말로, 네, to support him, then yeah.
Hey, but my mom was actually happy because we got to stay at a hotel, full service hotel.
Yeah,
And dad still goes to work from the hotel, but we all got to stay at home and I mean at the hotel.
Yeah,
and,
so have delicious foods and then
Yeah.
clean bed and what else, everything.
you know, housemaids and everything. It was
Yeah.
actually cool.
그랬다고 합니다. Oh yeah,
But-
so yeah,
But
so
he wasn't happy.
you know the ant colonies. If I had an overactive imagination, I couldn't
Well,
think about those things.
well, if you have an overactive imagination, maybe you could think about going inside the ant hive and
Yeah, be a part of
be
ant
friend
or, yeah,
fight
member
the
of
queen.
the ant colony and
Yeah, fight the queen to gain superiority of the colony.
I see. Yeah, so yeah, this is the examples of overactive imaginations.
Right, overactive is just very active.
네, 아주 활발하고 정말 굉장한 그런 좀 정말
It's
아주 과도한
a bit over the normal side.
네,
And
정상적인 그 상상의 범주에서 넘어간 걸 말합니다.
probably what my
Yeah,
dad
so-
said, hyperactive. It's probably similar thing, but he probably meant it as stronger than over. But who knows?
So you mean the hyperactive is
Stronger
over-
than overactive.
yeah,
Probably he meant it that way, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Overactive, hyperactive.
아버지는 좀 더 강조를 하고 싶어서 hyperactive라고 한 모양이지만 사실 overactive나 hyperactive나 뭐 별 차이 없다고 막.
Tomatoes.
토마토나 토메이로나 뭐 이런 거라고. Yes, okay, so this is your birthday. Yeah, move.
I had an overactive imagination.
저는 좀 과도한 상상력을 가지고 있대요.
I-
sorry. 저는 좀 상상력이 과도했대요. no, 저는 상상력이 과했어요.
Can I go?
Yes.
I had an overactive imagination.
저는 좀 과도한 상상력을 가지고 있었어요.
Okay?
Yes, done.
All right, so that's it for today.
Yes.
We will see you all for day
6 next week.
6, which is next week. How the filming situation will change, we'll find out on day 6. So stay tuned. If you like this video, please press the like.
Yes.
If you like it even more, you can always subscribe. And if
Yes.
you really, really want to see the next video as soon as it comes out, you can always click on the bell.
Yes, please.
Right. So we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.